In China, where I grew up, we have a saying, we don't eat to live, we live to eat. The Chinese believe cooking should be a celebration of foods and flavor. And on special occasion, we really celebrate. Here is a recipe. You might just make it once in a long while. It is a little bit extra work, but it is extra special. I call this yin-yang chicken and spinach soup. And until I show you how to do it, you'll be amazed how wonderful and how easy it is. Here, I have some spinach, and I water blanch the spinach for approximately 3 minutes, okay? And then I'm gonna squeeze the water out, okay? Look at that. I squeeze the water out. And then I'm gonna cut this and chop this with my knife, okay? You know why you would do this? Because when you water blanch this, you water blanch it with a tiny bit of chicken broth, so a tiny bit of ginger and garlic and seasoning. And this is the easiest way to do it, like a little pancake. And then I cut it up like this first. Always hold onto your knife like this, firm grip. You see this? Firm grip. This way, you would not lose control of your knife. And then you, once again, turn it 90 degrees, and you cut it up. And then, if you have time, and you happen to have 2 knives, you hold on to this, and you chop it up like this. I'm amazed. This should excite you all at home. I'm having fun, I don't know about you. And make sure, you see, you transfer this, you put it here, and we are going to let this boil in another chicken broth. Look at that, spinach in chicken broth right here. Always learn to clean up. And you do the same thing with chicken, okay? I have some ground chicken, I do basically the same. And then I also put the chicken in some chicken broth right here, okay? And then we stir them around. Now, of course, you do not have to use your spoon to stir it. You can use your chopstick to stir it. It's very, very easy to use chopstick to do a lot of things. Let me show you. Cooking chopstick. Stir your spinach. You have to marinate your spinach a little bit. All you have to do is put a tiny, tiny bit of white pepper, a tiny bit of salt, and if you want, you can use a tiny bit of sugar, okay? And then, of course, use a tiny bit of sesame seed oil. Stir this, and then you cook your chicken the same way. Cook it in a little bit of broth. And then if you want, once again, put a tiny bit of white pepper, a tiny bit of salt, tiny bit of sugar. And this time I also use a tiny, tiny bit of wine or vinegar, okay? Oh, give that extra flavor to it. Make sure they are nice and smooth. And if you want, you can add a teeny tiny bit more broth, okay? And then you can thicken it up with a tiny bit of cornstarch and egg white. Cornstarch and egg white. Always get some cornstarch ready right next to you. And then when it's almost ready, it's already flavor. Stir this constantly. Come back here and stir. And then you come back here and you stir. And then you come back here and you thicken. Look at this. Stir this in. Use long cooking chopstick. Very easy to do. Make sure this is thick enough, so you're going to put it in yin-yang style. Just enough thickness. Okay? Very unique, very simple. You know, yin and yang is a very, very much practice as a way of life, is a practice like a religion. yin and yang represent a contrasting culture, contrasting force. Yet at the same time, they complement each other, just like white and green, just like sweet and sour, male and female. They have a contrasting characteristic and personality. Yet at the same time, they are also complementing to each other, like this flavor and texture contrast of the chicken and the spinach. When it's done, I want to show you. Very, very simple. You get a little bowl, and you slice some thin slice of tomato like this. You make this into a yin-yang shape, okay? And then get ready some black and white sesame seed. And then when you're ready, you scoop one with spinach. Very interesting. Basically, you're putting two dishes together, okay? And then one is this, and then the other one, you use chicken, okay? Very easy to do. You use chicken. Very light, very healthy, and it's absolutely unique. And then this is how you do it. Look at that, very unique. You put them in simultaneously at the same time. Look at that. See, they stay put. And then you put a little thing here, a little thing here, and then you put the sesame seed, white sesame seed on this side. White sesame seed on this side, okay? And then black sesame seed on the other side. In order to make it easier, you put it with a little spoon. And then you have two very interesting, contrasting soup. And it's beautiful. Now, what do you do when you want to turn a humble Napa cabbage or regular cabbage leaf into an elegant, interesting, and delicious appetizer? As they say in the movie business, roll them. Let me show you how to make Tianjin cabbage roll. Here, you look at all the ingredients I have. Since we're talking about cabbage, I want to show you this whole big piece of cabbage. Sit. Napa cabbage. In China, they also call Tianjin cabbage, Tianjin Dai Bak Choy. You water blanch the leaves like this. Water blanch the leaf until they're nice and softened, like this. This is the original leaf. It stand up, and this is the leaf now. Stand up. Look at that. Please stand up. Water blanch it with a tiny bit of oil and salt. Okay. Approximately 2.5 to 3 minutes. Now I want to go through all the good stuff that you need to put it in this filling for the cabbage roll. Oh, you know that a lot of these cabbage, you can buy it in any supermarket, so you don't have to worry about it. They last for almost 5 or 7 days in the fridge. Here, I'm going to go through the most important thing, the most interesting thing is this. This is a piece of 5-spice flavor pressed bean curd, firm. And we're going to cut this up into julienne. Of course, julienne carrot, slightly water blanched so it's nice and soft. Mushroom, shiitake mushroom, soak it for half an hour and julienne it. And this is bean sprout, chopped cilantro. This is Sichuan pickle. I've been using it for a while. This is very, very flavorful, very pungent. It adds a punch to your dish. And of course, we have garlic, ginger, and green onion. Now, let me show you very easily how to prepare this. I want to show everybody how easy to cut this. This is a little bit too thick. So what I do is I put this and cut it in half like that. Cut it in half. Look at that. Little thin slices like this, and I stack them up. If you have patience and time, you do it one more time. And depends on how much patience you have. Look at that. When you practice makes perfect. And then you cut this up into long strips like that. Now when you cut, make sure you remember, never raise your knife higher than your knuckle. It's not funny at all. And not only that, when you move, make sure you move in the right direction. Never move on the other side. And then when this is cut up, the next thing I want to show you is something very interesting. When you go out to a great Chinese restaurant to buy bean sprout, to eat a dish, use bean sprout, they normally snap this part off. Look at this. The leaf, snap it off. And the root, this is root, you snap it off. And they call this silver sprout. In Hong Kong or China, you can actually buy this bean sprout like this already trimmed in the market. Remove this and remove this. Remove these both ends. Remove both ends. So you have beautiful silver sprout like this. And we're going to quickly saute all of this filling, and we can fold it up. Okay, look at this. First, we are going to show you how easy it is. Use a teeny tiny bit of oil and use garlic and ginger. Look at that. A lot of garlic, a lot of ginger, and everybody should learn how to do this. Don't let it burn. Put things that take longer to cook. Carrot takes a little bit longer to cook, we'll put carrot. And the mushroom takes a bit longer to cook, so we'll put mushroom. Okay, things take longer to cook, always put it in first. And then of course, Sichuan pickle. Now do not use too much Sichuan pickle because they are pretty strong. Stir it for a little while, add a tiny bit of chicken broth. I'm going to stand on the side so everybody can see me. Use high temperature and short time to sear the meat and seal the juice, particularly when you're doing stir-fried dishes with meat. And then the other thing I put in is, oh, look at this. Spicy bean curd. It adds texture, flavor, and protein to your dish. And then lastly, but not least, bean sprout, silver sprout, some cilantro, and some green onion. That's all we need. And then we will take these out, and we are going to get ready to marinate this. Oh, marinate it with a touch of 5-spice powder, Chinese 5-spice powder, tiny bit of vinegar, tiny bit of sesame seed oil, tiny bit of soy sauce. Hop. Oh, and after this is done, you can slightly thicken this up, and you let it cool down for a little while. You know why? You gotta let it cool down because if you don't let it cool down, if you fold it into like you can actually use egg roll wrappers, wonton wrappers, and mushu pork wrapper to do this. Then they would not be too easy. They would have too much steam and moisture coming out. So let it cool down for about half an hour until they're cool, and then you fold it, okay? Let me show you. This is a piece of cabbage. It's already done. And I want to do it on this side, on the outside, a little bit thick. So I'm going to trim the end off from here. Look at that. I trim this, and I trim this. So I want to make this exactly the same thickness. So now the whole piece is very thin. And I trim this. Look at this. Parallel cut. I actually trim the whole thing like this. Now, you know how thin this is? This is this thin. Look at that. Isn't it amazing? And then, when this is done, we're going to fold this. And I'm going to use a chopstick. Chopstick is very, very functional. And I will put this right over here. Just like you do egg roll, okay? Put right over here. Do not use too much, okay? And then you roll it up like that, very tight. You roll it up, and you roll it up, and you roll it up on both sides. You're very, very tight. Very, very tight. And now cabbage roll like that. And then, when you're done with it, you put them all together like that, okay? And then you know what? You can serve this very, very nicely. I want to show you how easy it is to serve. You can actually serve it like this. And I want to show you how easy it is to cut it. You cut it at an angle like this, 45-degree angle, so they stand up like this. You see this? 45-degree angle. 45-degree angle. And if you want, you can actually make a dipping sauce with rice vinegar, with a tiny bit of 5-spice powder, and you can actually do all kinds of things with it. And when it's done, you can actually serve it with the dipping sauce right here and serve with a nice, beautiful garnishing like that. Now for the main course of our special occasion dinner, a exciting, dramatic rib roast, Asian style. I call it peppercorn rib roast. I'm going to serve it with the Shanghai baby green bok choy. Okay, let me remove these, and then we're going to get ready for this. This is going to be exciting. Now, I'm not much a meat eater, but when I eat meat, I really eat meat. Okay, all we have to do is do this very simple dish. I have a big piece of rib roast right here. Oh, look at that. And I'm going to do it the way I have been doing it. First, I cut up some slice of ginger. Okay? And then also, I have a couple slices of garlic. Okay? And of course, if you ran out of time, you can always do this a little bit faster. And set it aside, and I want to show you what I'm going to do. I use a little knife, and I cut a little thing in between the bone. And I'm going to push some garlic inside. And not only that, I push ginger inside, if you like. And I'll do another piece here, so the flavor of the ginger and garlic really permeate into the whole thing. And I'll do another one here, and I continue to do it. And normally, I'll take the time to do it so the whole thing is going to be flavor. And then on this side, I do it exactly the same way. Garlic, push it in. Ginger, push it in. Somebody in the audience already get excited. I am telling you, I am excited too. But be patient. Good food takes time to prepare. So don't rush me. Okay, when this is all nice and done, you can even do it on the top if you want. So that means there's a lot of possibility. You can do a lot of things that you normally don't take the time to do. But I said it's a special dinner, right? And then after that, you rub this up with a teeny tiny bit of sesame seed oil. This way, it will give that nice shine. Okay? Massage a little bit. And then some 5-spice powder, some salt, rub the whole thing. Rub the whole thing so it's nice and flavorful, okay? Last but not least, you're going to pat the whole black pepper. Let me remove this whole thing so everybody can see better. Right here, Sichuan peppercorn. Rub it, already slightly roasted. Black pepper. And I'm going to push it right here. Push it in. Look at that. This way, the whole thing would be very, very flavorful. Okay? Sichuan peppercorn. And the whole thing, when it's done, you clean up your hand, make sure, and you get rid of your spoon. You don't need the spoon anyway. And then we're going to put this in this roasting rack right here and take it over there. You're going to roast. Now, it takes a while to roast this. So we have, of course, always prepare one already done for you. Look at that. Hot. And then all I have to do is take this out. Look at that. Very simple. And I want to show you how easy it is. Take this out. Put it right over here. Shake off some of the stuff. Shake off some of the stuff so when you cut, you don't, because the flavor is already there. And a lot of people don't realize ground spices normally takes a lot faster to cook, to get the flavor out. So you can use this knife, or of course, you can use this knife. And then you hold on to this, you cut. Look at how beautiful this piece. Wow, look at that, the garlic is still here. You cut another piece. Look at that, the garlic is still here. And when you serve, let me show you. All you have to do is put this whole thing right over here. Come out. And then you line this up. Line this up. 1, 2 pieces right here. And of course, you know what you can do? You can make a simple sauce. 2 different sauce. One, I call this Chinese mustard, hot mustard with honey as a little dipping sauce. Mix it all together. Put it right here. Okay, this is one of the sauce. And then you can also mix with some mayonnaise, some chopped onion, some ginger, and some green onion. Mix it all together. Use it as another dipping sauce. I scoop it right here. Then you would know you have a beautiful roast. Now we are ready for the sweetest moment of the special occasion, dessert. Here's a spectacular white chocolate and raspberry mousse that you can make way ahead of time. Let's put this over here. It's very, very easy. I call it Ding Hao mousse. It's wonderful. All you have to do is all of these ingredients to make your usual mousse. I have white chocolate, egg, you separate them, egg yolk and egg white, sugar, whipping cream, and Grand Marnier. And you put them all together to make that usual mousse. This is the wonderful mousse that I have made because you got to let it set and everything, okay? And we're going to scoop some mousse out here, and I'm going to dress it up. It's very easy to do. I call it Ding Hao. Ding means top. Hao means good. Top good means the best. And I put this pureed raspberry right around here. Look at this. Do some design yourself. Raspberry right here. Look at that. Put it right here. Beautiful raspberry. And if you like, you can put a couple of extra pieces. And then some candied ginger. Oh, this is what makes it. And then have another scoop of Ding Hao mousse right on the top. Look at that. And then you do the same thing. Some more puree. Some more puree. And then more raspberry. You can do whatever you want. Just be creative. You can put one here, one there. No problem at all. And then one tiny bit more candied ginger. And finally, put a little lychee fruit or long end, and you put this, and you have the Ding Hao mousse. Well, it has been especially fun preparing this special occasion dinner. I hope you enjoy watching as much as I'm going to enjoy eating it. Till next time, turn on your next dinner party into a special occasion. And remember, if Yan can cook, so can you. 再见。